Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and we are with Uncle James Bashir. Uncle, how are we doing?
Everything is good. Thank God. Thank God. Everything is good.
Thank goodness. Heavyweight specialist as always. News coming out. There's one picture of Alexander Usyk. He looks in good shape, but there are other rumours coming out that he's not in good shape, and he's been breaking down in training due to the challenges he's facing in Ukraine. What are your thoughts on this?
Ah, what's to do about nothing? I can't believe that. I think that Usyk realizes the importance of his being the heavyweight champion of the world. I think he realizes the importance of him winning this fight versus his counterpart in Anthony Joshua. I don't think that he's breaking down. I think it's just a much to do about nothing hearsay.
Remember, we did talk about it when Eugene was on the show. He talked about Usyk's family in danger. His wife was in danger, threatened by the Russian government. The house being burgled and broken into after Usyk had moved their family at one place to another. So those challenges were going on in the background.
I think that
So
Usyk has the
say,
situation pretty well in hand. I think he has the situation pretty well in hand.
so you have
I
no
don't think.
concerns about Usyk
No,
fighting.
I don't. No, I can't believe that. I think that when Usyk steps in the ring,
So you think
he's gonna be fully prepared to fight. And anybody that gets caught up in the hearsay that he's not going to be prepared to fight, they got another thing coming. The guy's going to be ready to fight. I wouldn't. I put it this
August
way:
20th?
if I was training Anthony Joshua, I wouldn't listen to none of that. I would be training for the best Usyk. I wouldn't get distracted by the hearsay.
What is the best Usyk? Have we seen the best Usyk?
I think we'll see the best Usyk in this fight coming up.
Will this be the
I think
toughest fight of his career?
most likely it'll be the toughest fight of his career.
New
Because you got to
trainer
think,
Robert.
you got to think, you got to think that Anthony Joshua realizes what's at stake, and with the best Anthony Joshua is going to show up, or at least the presumably best Anthony Joshua.
Robert Garcia is saying the new trainer, by any means necessary, they will beat Usyk.
Hey, it sounds good on paper. I would think the same way, you know. But it sounds good on paper. Everything sounds good on paper. They have yet to get in the ring and duel it out, though.
Can you? We've talked about this lighter weight trainer training a heavyweight trainer, training a heavyweight. Now, I heard something online read something online the other day, which was spot on. They said, if Anthony Joshua believes he can just run across the ring and attack Usyk, he's got another thing coming because he'll walk onto a big shot from Usyk. Would
No,
that be correct?
I think that Anthony is wise enough to know that he cannot approach Usyk with the rough and tumble pressure, just jumping on him and ragging him down. No, I think that Anthony Joshua is a wise cat in that he'll know what to do, how he's going to approach this situation. But certainly he is not going to go out balls to the wall and try to overcome Usyk.
I have to question. I have to question what you're saying here, Uncle, respectfully, because you're saying Anthony Joshua's a wise guy. This is the same Anthony Joshua who decided to trade with Andy Ruiz. The same Anthony Joshua who decided to box with Alexander Usyk. The
Well,
same Anthony.
I say wise guy because he's experienced in that venue. He understands now that he can't do certain things against certain people.
Yeah, but
So
that don't make.
he's going to be
But
wise in that area.
the wisest thing he could have done is bring you in camp because you've trained Alexander Usyk. That's the wisest thing he could have done. Not bringing a heavyweight trainer.
Look. I didn't say everything that he did was the wisest. I said that his approach going across the ring when the bell rings. I was talking about the approach.
Well,
There's
well, they,
some
well,
things that's left to be desired by Anthony Joshua. I didn't say he made all the wise choices. I said that I think that he's going to be wise enough to know that he just can't go out balls to the wall and try to attack Usyk. It's just not going to work.
yeah,
I
but
wouldn't suggest that.
yeah, but we had this conversation before the first fight. We knew that Joshua should not try and outbox Usyk or try to box Usyk. He
Yeah,
went
we
and
knew.
boxed Usyk.
We alluded to that fact, and I said that over and over again that he should not try to box him, and I would not have had him box him if I had trained him for the first fight. He would have been. I'm not saying that he would have won or lost the fight, but I'm saying that he would have been better prepared. I would have had him better prepared for what he was going to be up against.
What are we? What are we? I know you've talked about a better Usyk, but when you say a better Usyk, you would be more qualified to talk about a better Usyk. So, what would you see as how can Usyk improve in that first performance? Although the fact from that 12th round, he had plenty in the tank in that 12th round. He put his foot down and for 30 seconds let Anthony Joshua know he was still around, and then we'll stop Joshua. So, is this a continuation round 13?
I think a better Usyk is going to be more consistent. I think that they just wanted to get the title, and the corner, Usyk's corner, told him, "Listen, don't go for the knockout, just go for the point and win." But I think, based off of what I saw in the first fight, I think that Usyk is relatively comfortable that he could possibly knock out Anthony Joshua, and this time he's going to step it up and try it.
In the fights I've seen at Anthony Joshua, when he gets hit with a punch, he doesn't respond very well. He freezes and stays in the same place and doesn't know how to respond when hurt. Almost like Frank Bruno. When Bruno used to get hit, he used to freeze. And I'm thinking to myself, if Usyk has the opportunity the second time round early, he'll jump on the gas and get Joshua out of there.
Man, I just want to see the bell ring. I want to see the bell ring. I want to see what's going to take place when that bell ring. I'm just excited. I want to see it. I'm looking at the fight now. He didn't choose me as a trainer, so nobody can change my position about a fan. So I just want to see the bell ring. I want to be, I want a popcorn in hand. I want to see what's going to happen.
What type of Anthony Joshua are we going to see under Robert Garcia? With a guy who's not an expert in heavyweight training, what would we see? For example, what would we look out for?
Well, Robert Garcia is much like Javen Hill, and he's much like Freddie Roach. Those are the kind of trainers that says, look, go out, be the boss, establish your jab, walk forward, and bang whatever's in front of you. That's the remedy that Javen Hill gave Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. Freddie Roach has that same philosophy. And Robert Garcia, one way, go forward, cut the ring off, and bang. Most of the time, it's not a whole lot of diplomacy. It's just go out there and take over, take charge. And I don't think that philosophy will work well against Usyk. I just don't. From what I know about Usyk, I don't think it's going to work well.
When guys are not durable, is it not suggestible for them to be more defensive first, or should attack be their defense?
Say that again, please.
When fighters are not known for durability, is it better for them to use attack as their defense or defense as their attack?
I don't know. I can't answer that. Because I don't know what person, I don't know what mentality, I don't know what
Like,
condition, one condition, guy, you can't. It's just no way to tell.
for example, you got a guy who doesn't take a punch. Look, for example, Vladimir Klitschko was known for not having the greatest chin in the world, okay? So Emmanuel Stewart set up a form of defense for him so that when he got close, he tied his opponents up, and when he was at distance, he limited the punches he would throw. A left jab, a right hand, wouldn't throw uppercuts from too far out, never went to the body. And only through combinations when he knew he had the guy hurt. Otherwise, it was all straight punches, and not too many of them.
Well, I don't know what Joshua's makeup is going to be like under Robert Garcia. I would try to. Well, I don't want to say what I would do. You know, I don't want to say what I would do. We just gotta wait and see.
So this Robert Garcia thing, with him being Robert Garcia, has been there since he fired McCracken, or we heard he'd fired McCracken. So way before you came into camp, way before he was in America, Robert Garcia was confirmed as that. When he met Robert Garcia, then he was the trainer back then. So what was Joshua doing with all these other trainers?
Well, it's just like a person playing cards. You got a lot of cards in a deck. You got your cards in your hand. The other opponent got different cards in their hand. And you decide which one of these cards is going to be the card that you're going to play with, that's going to get you in or out of trouble. And I guess that Anthony Joshua has decided on Robert Garcia being that voice, that mentality.
So why do you think Joshua would have picked Robert Garcia out of all the trainers he could pick? Why Robert Garcia?
Hey, beats me. Beats me. It beats me. I don't know. I can't begin to even come close to answering that question.
Okay, so does it bring comfort to you knowing he's Robert Garcia, or does it ring alarm bells with him being Robert Garcia?
I can't say yeah or nay. He didn't choose me. That's what I know. I think that his best bet was to choose me.
Most people most people believe that.
That's what I can answer. I can answer that clearly, that he should have chose me. Robert Garcia could be one of my children. One of my children. I've been in boxing far longer than he has. He's been in the ring.
Yes.
As a pro, but still boxing. I've been in there as an amateur, so still boxing. I'm still getting hit. I'm still getting hurt. But he had an extensive career. But he's only trained, as far as the training is going, he's only trained small fighters, lightweights, junior lightweights, maybe a welterweight here and there. He hasn't been in there with the big guys, and it's a different ball game. It's a different ball game. See, you get hit with the big guys, and one shot can change the whole outlook of a fight. So that just balls to the wall. Let's go get them. It doesn't always work that well.
Robert Garcia says that Tyson Fury is a different beast, but all round he thinks Anthony Joshua is the best heavyweight in the world.
What else is he going to say?
I know.
What else is he going to say?
He's being paid a lot of money to train Anthony Joshua, or maybe he's not being paid a lot of money to train Anthony Joshua. Maybe he was the guy that was the cheapest going. Maybe Garcia said, you know what? Garcia may have said to himself, you know what, look, I've not really worked with heavyweights, but I've got a name at the low weights. I'll take a cut so I can make a name with you at heavyweight. Whereas he knows every other trainer would be asking for more money. Well, I mean, why else? Why else would you not work with a top trainer in the heavyweight division? Money.
It's baffling. It's baffling to me, what Anthony Joshua is thinking at this time. Maybe he's confident that he's going to overpower Alexander Usyk and get him out of there early. I think that Eddie Hearn said that he's going to stop Usyk in 6 rounds. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see that happen.
Joshua may end up getting stopped within 6 rounds if he's not careful. One mistake.
It's just a lot of excitement here. He then shows me, okay, big deal. Now I'm in fan mode. Now let's get the fight on. Let's get rocking. I'm still very
let's move away.
Enthusiastic about the fight. I'm still very hyped up, very enthusiastic about the fight, and I want to just see how these styles are going to match up.
Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, I think it is. Dome, something like that. He's going to fight in Saudi Arabia. August the 20th, I'm hearing now. Somebody said July the 20th. Now I'm hearing August the 20th.
What would I tell you? The more time that they can put between Usyk and Anthony getting in the ring with Garcia training him, the more time that he has to get used to what Garcia wants him to do, the better.
Okay.
The better. But I think this is a big bite. I think this is a really big bite for Garcia to go in there and make an impression with Anthony Joshua versus such a tall order in Alexander Usyk.
The mental state of Anthony Joshua, knowing that if Usyk hits him, he can hurt him and he can stop him. Does that play a role in this fight, this rematch?
That's got to play a role in any fight, at any weight. The fact that, another guy that can crack. Alexander Usyk can crack. They think that he can't punch at heavyweight. I beg to differ. He can punch. I've been there. He can punch. He's a respectful puncher. And believe me, he's going to work on being better in his second appearance to the world. He's going to be better.
Will he come forward more? Will he take more chances in the second fight?
I believe so. I think that he's going to take more chances to diffuse what Anthony Joshua might be thinking.
I would
have him to attack Anthony Joshua. I would try to box with him. Heck, I've already beat you. Why I got to box? Why can't I come be the one to be the aggressor? I'll come and jump on you.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the fact that you're bigger and stronger, I'll come and jump on you. How about that? You never know. You never know what the guy is thinking. You never know what the guy is thinking.
Let's switch it round. Usyk jumps on Joshua early. Uh-oh. What happened to Uncle Bashir? Uncle's back. But I think a call came in. Therefore, when a call comes in, what can happen is that... Let's take a question in the time being. If AJ loses again because of the game plan against Usyk, I worry he will have squandered his career. Most people will feel that way, Leif, not just you. I mean, many people feel he's squandered his career. But he made poor decisions before the Usyk fight, the first fight. He made poor decisions with the Ruiz fight and his management. They should never have taken the Ruiz fight in the first place. They were meant to fight TREVOR Bryan, and they didn't. So Uncle Bashir's gone. I think maybe a telephone call's come through. So they've been making poor decisions from back then. When I spoke about Anthony Joshua leaving Rob McCracken from the day and Eddie Hearn since the days of when he fought Joseph Parker I could see there were issues then. And of course, it's all unraveled now. So I was saying about it from a long time. There are issues with Anthony Joshua and they need to be fixed. But oh no, as long as he keeps winning, no problems. Uncle is back.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Uncle.
What was I saying?
So we'll talk about Usyk jumping on Joshua.
I would try to anything. Strategy is a big part of boxing, and my strategy would be, hey, don't run away from him. Take the fight to him. You understand? Whatever he does, I want you to counter, and then try to follow with the counter and just keep on coming.
Well, he can't fight off the back foot. We know that for a fact. Once you push Joshua back, he cannot fight backing up.
Well,
he cannot fight backing up.
I would have my guy come. I would be seeking to get into Anthony Joshua's head, his psyche. If I can land some good punches early, some punches saying you got to respect me. Once he gets Joshua's respect, if there's such a thing, once he gets that respect, then he can go bowling.
Do you think Joshua still wants to be champion of the world, or do you think he's got that hunger to be champion of the world? Did you feel that hunger and desire around him when you were in camp with him?
Yes, I got the impression that he still wants to be champion. I really believe that he believes that he can be three-time world champion.
Why does his rematches have to be in the Middle East?
I guess that Usyk people would prefer for it to be in the Middle East because, they in Great Britain, it's just not a comfortable look for the heavyweight champion. I guess he feels that, that anything can happen in Great Britain.
What about USA, though? What about the USA?
Well, I guess that the money factor.
Okay.
The money, Saudi Arabia probably paid more for the fight.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Let's talk a bit about a fight that happened, a heavyweight fight that happened over the weekend. Lucas Browne, Junior Farr. Did you see the fight?
Yeah, I saw it.
I was watching it, and I could see, like, as Junior Farr came out, he was throwing this lazy-looking jab, like he was half asleep. I said, and Lucas Browne, you could see the right hand was coming from the back of the arena, but Farr was leaving that left jab so low and just got clunked with a right hand over the top.
Yes, I've been saying all along. When you're a heavyweight, as goes the heavyweight division, so does all the boxing. When you have such a valuable commodity in a heavyweight boxer, you can't leave no stone unturned when you're training them. Well, for that fact, you can't leave no stone unturned with any boxer. You've got to be prepared 100%. Junior Farr, I said to Vlad Sarenko many other times, we should have took that fight. We should have took that fight 3-4 fights ago. We should have took that fight.
I never rated that guy anyway. Never rated him.
I kept telling Vlad Sarenko, we should take this fight, Junior Farr. For that fact, I wanted to fight Parker too. I thought that Vlad Sarenko was in a place at that time to beat either one of those guys. It's timing. Timing is everything in life and in sports and especially in boxing.
You got to take your opportunities.
Timing is everything.
On the subject of timing, that great rematch that I know you wanted to see is about to happen in the heavyweight division. I know you just cannot wait. You've got your popcorn ready. I know, Uncle, you're cheering for this fight. Derek Chisora, Robert Pulev 2.
Are they going to fight?
Again.
Good fight.
I'm glad. Fight. For what? I can't believe you. I can't believe you took my sarcasm on. Good fight for what?
I think that Kubrat Pulev and Derek Chisora is a good fight at this stage in both of their careers.
But Pulev's already beaten Derek Chisora once already, Uncle.
Yes. Let's see
So
if he can do it again.
Why do you want to see that? Why do you want to see that fight?
Derek
For
Chisora, because Derek Chisora for me is an exciting fight.
Well, then put Derek. You know what?
He's an exciting fighter. He's always coming to fight. He's unpredictable. You know, Pulev might beat him again, but I want to see it.
I'd rather see Derek Chisora fight Martin Bakole and Dillian White fight Kubrat Pulev. There you go.
I want to see. I want to see. Derek Chisora is my man. He's an exciting fighter. He comes to fight. I like him.
Come on, Uncle.
You know?
I cannot believe you're sitting there saying you want to see Kubrat Pulev and Derek Chisora 2 fight.
Yeah, I want
Uncle,
to see it.
come on.
Derek Chisora, Kubrat Pulev is just coming off a good win versus Jerry Forrest. So he might be feeling his Cheerios. He might be feeling his Cheerios. He got a burst to life. He said, well, I got another shot at the heavyweight championship. If he loses again, he can pack his bags and go home.
I like Kubrat Pulev. I like Derek Chisora, but Derek Chisora got beat up real badly by Joseph Parker. And then Joshua destroyed... Yeah, Joshua destroyed Pulev.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, Derek, that might not have been Derek's day. He didn't look good in that fight versus Parker, you know.
No, he didn't. He's finished. Okay, next fight. Deontay Wilder on the comeback trail. Confirms he's coming back.
Yeah, I think that Deontay can come back.
To do what?
To do damage.
To who?
To whoever he can hit with that right hand.
Just not Tyson Fury.
Just not Tyson Fury.
All right.
Tyson Fury has Deontay's number.
Yep, it seems so. Mr. Bashir with a mischievous grin, calling for another Chisora fight. Gotta love him.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Oh, Uncle. Deontay is the most exciting heavyweight for me. Absolutely, got to agree with you there. Uncle, your thoughts on Kambosos? George, the fight was close, Kambosos. Your thoughts on that?
That fight wasn't close.
It wasn't close at all.
It was. I mean, he can see it. Devin Haney can see Kambosos' brain. He can see everything that he wanted to do before he can do it. And the fight was relatively boring to me.
Boring. Like I said, I think Devin.
Did you feel that way?
I didn't watch the fight because Devin Haney's boring. And I thought that Kambosos would have blasted him out of there. But Kambosos, he wasn't prepared. He didn't look prepared to me. He looked like he did the same crap that Lopez did, which he got too complacent and thought because he was champion, undisputed, he was invincible. That's what I think. Believed his own hype.
Oh, man, this fight was boring. You know, and I like Devin Haney, but that fight was boring. Because Devin looked like he could see everything that Kambosos was going to do 15 seconds before he did it. And he was prepared for it.
Oh, it was so boring. So boring. After all the talk of Kambosos was talking up a good fight, it was so boring. Oh, my Lord. Now they talk about rematch. Uncle, what are your thoughts on rematch clauses? I think they're damaging boxing. Your thoughts?
I think rematch clauses are good if there's some justification. But I don't think that was any justification for a rematch.
There you go. That's exactly what I've been saying. Justification.
I don't think no justification. I mean, he beat him pretty handily, you know. He beat him pretty handily, and it just wasn't no justification for any rematch. What's going to be any different in 6 months?
You tell me. Shook says Devin Haney used a smart jab, kept Kambosos nauseous and off balance all night. By the time Kambosos was ready to take risks, far too late. He then continues by saying, Kambosos to win had to come out of his corner like he'd been shot out of a cannon, throw combinations, work inside rough up at Haney. But Haney was the bigger and more skillful fighter.
I think that Kambosos was a flash in the pan. I don't think he'll be champion again. You know, I don't think so. And you have to
Okay.
remind me of what I'm saying right now. I think that he's I mean, he means well. I just think that he's in with a lot of big fish, and he's not going to see the top again.
Okay.
You know,
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I
he
could
got
probably
in
see
there.
that.
Yeah, he got in there and he won the title. You know, and that was his claim to fame. I think that's it. I don't think he'll be the
Uncle,
champion again.
I think some guys, like Evander Holyfield, are better challengers than they are champions. Some guys are better when they have to fight for a title than when they actually become champion.
I don't think Kambosos, you know, I don't think that he'll be champion again at 135 or 140. I don't think so. I think he was a flash in the pan. That's it. You know, I think that he means well. I think that he's a hard worker, but I just don't think that he has the tools, the mentality, the finesse to go back and take the title.
I think maybe he needs to consider changing his trainer. That's what I think.
Oh, he needs to shoot those people. He need to put them in front of the firing squad.
What, him and Lopez? Him and Lopez. Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez.
Oh yeah.
They both.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh yeah. They get a firing squad and do a round robin, burn them. You know.
no, add three of them. Rolly.
Oh God. It's terrible. Now you see the example that I'll be making about boxing and the people that's in those corners.
That's what I'm talking about.
They say things that nobody can really argue with. Use your jab. Back him up. Things, standard things where nobody in the listening audience can question what they're saying. But my question would be, the jab does not apply at this time. Backing him up does not apply at this time. The application is missing. The logic is cool, but the application, the timing of the application is not cool. All right? They're just going out there and they're just doing these things. You know? And that's what I'm talking about in boxing, the boxing trainers. Those people in those corners, they're not qualified. They're not qualified. Well, at least when they got to the big dance under the big lights, in the big
They're not
fight,
qualified.
they didn't show their qualifications.
But it
That's
wasn't about. Yeah, but
What?
because these guys you're talking about, it wasn't about the fighter. It was about the family member, the dad shining in the light, not the fighter. So the emphasis changes from what they should be doing, which is getting a good
Howard
trainer.
Davis and I were very close. And Howard Davis told me a long time ago, you know, Howard Davis and I would hang out, you know, when he wasn't in boxing. And Howard told me, he said, the hardest thing that I ever had to do was to go into my father's room one morning and say, hey, Dad, I got to get another trainer. And the father responded by saying, Lil John, do what you have to do. He used to call him Lil John.
Okay.
He said, do what you have to do. He said, he turned back over and went to sleep. He said, that was the most difficult thing that I ever did in my life. You understand?
Yeah.
Because he knew the chemistry wasn't working between him and his dad. Some people don't have enough sense or enough courage to tell their dad, say, hey, Dad, you got to fall back. Let me get this guy over here to train me. You know, you go in there with all that hype and huffing and puffing and howling and, yeah, my guy's going to do this. My son's that. My son's going to knock you out, this, that. That's BS in boxing.
It is. It doesn't count for anything once the
It
belts
doesn't
are
count
gone.
for anything other than make you look like a fool to the world.
Once the belt's gone, yeah, you look like an idiot.
It makes you look like a fool prior to losing the belt, because it was more about the Tufimo's Lopez's
Dad,
father's antics, as
here you
opposed
go.
to Tufimo's style of boxing.
And then you hear Kambosos' dad said, "Oh yeah, we've got all areas covered." What areas covered? What about the area of you getting hit, your son getting his head jabbed off? What about that area? Did you have that area covered? What about you being down 11 rounds?
Oh,
Did you
so
have
many
that
things.
area covered?
It's so many things I would like to say addressing that, but I can't say those things without showing my hand, what's in my mind, what I would have done, how I would have approached the fight. I can't say it because then I'd be teaching the audience, and I'm not going to do that.
The thing is, I saw in that fight Kambosos throw an overhand right, and I thought that was the punch that actually would have knocked out Haney. I thought he would have gone to the body with a jab and brought the right hand over top, hit the right hand. But I saw him throw it a couple of times, but he just looked like a guy that was just, he looked a guy that hadn't been
But he threw the
trained
right
for the
hand.
fight.
Oh, he threw the overhand right, like in my mind, by the time the overhand right got to him, it was ineffective. All the power was gone off of it.
But that's because Haney could see it coming, because there was no setup for it. He didn't.
Of course. That's what I'm talking about.
And Haney's not exactly.
If somebody's going to punch you in your mouth, and you know they're going to punch you in your mouth, you got your brain, your body,
Yeah.
everything working together to take some of the steam off that punch, to make the punch.
I saw. Go on, Uncle. Go on, Uncle.
To make the punch have very little consequence, if any. You don't want the consequence of the brunt of the punch. And then the way this guy was going to punch, Haney was just looking at him saying, you know what, he gets on overhead right now. We go. All right, that's gone. That's gone now. It's gone. It's done. It was ineffective. And he kept doing it. And I kept saying, oh, God, this is boring. Boring. All right? Except if you bet.
Haney Stevenson. What do you think? Devin Haney, Shaka Stevenson. Let's give you a fight now. Who's your money on?
I think Shakur beat him.
Yeah, I think so too.
Shakur beat him.
Haney versus Tank.
Right now, I think that Shakur beat him.
Haney versus Tank.
I think Haney can outpoint him, but he can't get hit. He can't. No. The average lightweight is not going to take those kind of shots. You know. But Haney has the style. He has the style and the cautiousness to outpoint him.
Let me give you a fight, Uncle. Tank Gervonta Davis versus Nassim Hamed. I've got you thinking.
Yeah, well, you saw what Rolly did. Rolly was just another form of Nelson Muhammad. You know, it's a pretty testy fight. I'd like to see that fight. That's a really good fight.
Who's your money on?
Man, that's an explosive fight. Either one of them got TNT in their gloves. Either one of those guys land one or two punches together, you could be in some serious trouble.
I'll say Hamed, before he joined Emmanuel Stewart, that Hamed. When he was still with Brendan Ingle, that Nassim Hamed.
Yeah.
Versus any version of Gervonta Davis.
Gervonta Davis got Novocaine in his gloves.
He's got something in them gloves.
You know, when them punches hit you, when they hit the opponent, I mean, the guy's got what, 27 fights with 25 knockouts?
Yeah. They're saying he's a
At,
protected
at that,
fighter, but I don't know about that.
at 135 pounds, that's powerful. That's powerful. You got 27 fights with 25 knockouts. That's powerful. You putting people to sleep at lightweight.
I saw Ryan Garcia open up his mouth again and then ran to fight Fortuna afterwards.
We're gonna see. It's coming. It's coming.
Manny Pacquiao's talking about wanting to fight Mayweather again.
All right, that's over for me. I'm done with that. I'm done with that.
One more, Uncle. One more. Jake Paul has signed to fight Tommy Fury.
Again?
This actually going to happen this time, I think in August. Who wins?
I don't know enough about Tommy Fury.
I'll send you some tapes.
I don't know enough about Tommy Fury. You know, and you let a YouTuber beat you, that's really bad. So Tommy Fury's got to win because you don't want a YouTuber to beat him.
He don't want a YouTuber to beat him.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, you know.
The YouTubers called him out, so I mean, Jake Paul's not a dumb guy. He's probably quite an astute guy. There must be a reason why he's called that Tommy Fury.
Fight Huey Fury.
I heard that story.
That's gonna be a boring fight.
Well, who wins?
And like the public is saying, like, who cares?
You know what? I'd probably give Huey Fury the edge in that fight now because I don't know what the hell Michael Hunter's been doing.
Yeah, Michael Hunter had a close call with Jerry Forrest. He had a close call with Alexander Povetkin. You know, I think that Michael Hunter might be his own worst enemy.
Mm-hmm.
If he got down to seriousness and conducted himself right coming in these fights, he can fare well in the fights.
It's a shame because we were talking about him becoming heavyweight champion of the world together, Uncle, not too long ago. Now look at it, what's happened.
Yeah, he's morphed into something else, you know.
It's a shame. It's a real shame.
It's a must-win fight for him and Fury. It's a must-win fight.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to talk about, Uncle, before you go today?
No,
This weekend, June the 11th in Miami, Daniel Dubois, Trevor Bryan.
This weekend?
This weekend, Uncle.
Is it this weekend?
It's the 11th this weekend, I believe. Yes, it's this weekend. Now you got some heavyweight boxing to look forward to.
Is it this weekend? Is the fight gonna come off this weekend?
This weekend in Miami.
Well, what kind of advertisement did they do for this fight? They didn't do much advertising on this fight.
No.
Did Daniel Dubois come into the United States yet?
I don't know. I've heard nothing yet about him. I'll find out. I don't think he has. Maybe he's going to arrive on Thursday or Friday, something like that.
Wow, man. They didn't advertise it, and the fight is this weekend.
Yep.
Amazing. Well, it's going to be. We'll find out what Trevor Bryan is made out of, and we'll find out if Daniel Dubois can bounce back after defeat from Joe Joyce.
Yep, that's it, isn't it? If he does beat Daniel Dubois, where do you put Trevor Bryan? If he beats Daniel Dubois,
I put him in the wastebasket.
What? Why? Why?
I mean, if he beats Daniel Dubois, you got to put Trevor Bryan in the race.
Right, but if Daniel Dubois beats
Dubois beats Trevor Bryan got to go all the way back to the back of the line. I'm going to be watching this here fight very, very carefully.
Trevor Bryan, I spoke to him on BWTM Sports. We did an interview a few days ago. I don't know if you caught it.
I heard it.
And what did you think of what Trevor had to say?
He said with a boxer get ready to fight for the defending title, he said he's got to go through. He's got to say what he has to say.
But he's calling Dubois a boy.
Okay.
Many people are saying that Dubois is going to run straight over Bryan. It's only a matter of time before Bryan gets knocked over by Dubois.
You know, I'm a realist. I think that Trevor Bryan has something to prove, more to prove beating Dubois than Dubois has to beating him. I think Bryan is the guy in the spot where he's got to prove himself as the champion. More than Dubois has to prove himself. Because don't nobody know Bryan. Nobody knows nothing about Bryan. Nobody's seen Bryan. Don't nobody, you understand what I'm saying? He's got something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Trevor Bryan has something to prove, and he's got to go in there, and he's got the manhandle and beat Dubois in that ring. He's got to beat him. And I just think that this is going to be a difficult fight for Trevor Bryan. If Trevor Bryan go out there and does his thing and beats him, then that's a good way to put himself into the hunt for undisputed. But as it stands, Trevor Bryan is the underdog. He's the champion, but he's the underdog. In my opinion.
Okay, Uncle.
All right.
Okay, Uncle. Thank you very much for that. Oh, and finally, your thoughts. Leonard ELLERBE versus Eddie Hearn. Who are you picking?
Eddie Hearn.
Eddie Hearn.
Yeah, Eddie Hearn.
To beat Leonard, if the two were to have a boxing bout, you'd pick Eddie Hearn.
Eddie Hearn.
So much for backing your own, Uncle.
Lenny ELLERBE ain't gonna lick a stamp with somebody else's tongue.
Oh God, Uncle. Uncle.
You know, Lenny ELLERBE soft in his drugstore cut.
Oh God, Uncle.
Hey man, hey, look. Lenny ELLERBE ain't gonna break a carton of eggs standing on it.
He's talking some big stuff, though. He's talking some big stuff.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, look, man. you heard what I just said, all right?
Yeah.
You can't break.
No.
Lenny ELLERBE ain't gonna break a carton of eggs standing on it. How hard is that to do?
Oh, dear.
Eddie heard unanimously. Oh God!
You gotta know when to hold them, when to fold them, eh, Uncle?
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Lenny ELLERBE ain't no fighter.
ELLERBE said, if I see him, it's one sight, period. That's what Leonard ELLERBE said about Eddie Hearn.
Yeah, okay. Lenny ELLERBE wouldn't know what to do in a prison, so he ain't gonna break nothing. He ain't gonna do nothing. Go to prison. I can't imagine Lenny ELLERBE being in prison.
Oh boy.
All right, I'm going to the gym. Look, brother, I see it.
Uncle, thank you much. Much love for you, Uncle. Thank you so much as always.
Yes. Let's get this here Joshua fight done. And look, we'll talk to you. We'll talk again after Trevor Bryan meets Daniel Dubois.
That sounds good. Maybe post-fight.
How do you see this fight?
The jab. Bryan's got to get his jab moving, and he's got to hit Dubois early. and push Dubois back and tell Dubois, not today, son. If he doesn't do that, if he stands right in front of Dubois and lets Dubois hit him, it's lights out. There's a new heavyweight champion of the world. Simple as that. But he's got to use that jab to disrupt Dubois. He's got to use that jab in his face. Bang, bang, bang in his face. Disrupt him. Don't allow Dubois to get onto that front foot. Push Dubois onto the back foot. Keep Dubois, his back against rope, and put pressure on Dubois. Because I believe if he puts pressure on Dubois, he'll burst pipes. Dubois is not known for having the biggest heart in the world.
I think Dubois takes Trevor Bryan 7 or 8 rounds. You know, a TKO.
Okay. We'll see.
All right. Okay.
We'll see, Uncle.
All right.
But Dubois, it's all about Bryan setting the tone. If he doesn't set the tone, he's getting knocked out.
I think that Bryan's going to diffuse that jab. But Bryan doesn't have a bad jab himself.
He's got a very good
jab.
jab.
Have a bad jab. Huh?
He's got a very good jab. Underrated.
Bryan has Dubois has a very good jab himself. The one that he was using against Joe Joyce can cause problems.
That's Joe Joyce.
That jab that he was using against Joe Joyce can cause problems. All right?
Okay.
So yeah, I think that he stops Trevor Bryan. I think that the big problem with Trevor is that he hasn't been in that fight. He hasn't been in those defining fights to prepare him for this fight. Whereas Dubois has been in that fight. He's been in the
and he lost.
And he lost, but he was in the. But I thought he was winning that fight versus Joe Joyce.
I told you.
Yeah,
at some point in the fight.
But still, I thought that Dubois was winning the fight.
Burst pipes, Uncle. I told you as soon as the pressure was on him.
But wait. Yeah, okay. But what I'm saying is, Dubois has been in the hot seat. He's been in that kind of fight. All right?
Okay.
Yeah, he got hurt bad and got stopped. But I think he's been in that. He gathered a lot of credible knowledge in that fight. And I think that's going to carry him through this fight versus Trevor Bryan. I don't think Trevor Bryan has been in the hot seat yet as the heavyweight champion. I don't think he's been in the hot seat. I don't think that he knows what a good, tough fight is. I don't think so. I could be wrong. Stacey McKinley knows this guy better than I do. I could be wrong. But in my opinion, that's what it's going to come down to, experience. Having experience to fight versus Joe Joyce, that's one of the highest steps that you can take in the heavyweight division. Now he's coming back to Trevor Bryan. I think that Dubois said, hey, man, get out of my face. I'm going to knock you out. Get out of my face. I got bigger fish to fry. I got Dubois winning the fight 8-9 rounds. TKO.
All right, Uncle,
All
we'll
right?
see you Sunday morning.
Okay. All right.
Take care, Uncle. Thank you.
Later.